I'm setting a new goal for myself. I want to be the Triple Crown champion. Just made that up in 3 different sports: Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and Kudo. I would like to be the world champion at all 3 of these sports. I'm 45 years old right now, so obviously it's going to be in the 45 and up division, also known as the businessman class in Kudo, the veterans division, V4 in Judo, and the M4, the Masters 4, if I don't win it this year, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you don't know me, my name is Nakapan Phungephorn. I own Beta Academy in Washington, D.C. That's Body Efficient Tactical Arts. I'm going for a walk right now, just talking about my new goals. This is, I'm going to put more episodes on my YouTube channel. You might have already seen I'll have a lot of Instagram, YouTube shorts, TikToks. I do a lot of shorts and reels on those platforms, and I want to do a little bit more of a long form thing. And you know, I've been competing my whole life. Over the last couple of years, I've set the goals of competing at least 4 times a year and getting an 80% submission rate in jiu-jitsu. And you know, I've done that for the last 5 years, and I want to have a new goal. So this is going to be my goal. I want to be in 3 different arts and be the world champion over 45 in 3 different arts. Let me talk about this real quick. This is really cool because I've always lived my life like a martial arts movie. And one of the greatest games that I've ever played and biggest influences in my life is Street Fighter 2. Love it so much. I'm walking right here in beautiful West Virginia right now. I'm just going for a walk on my in-laws' property after just a quick workout, and just wanted to film this and get the first episode of the road to the Triple Crown. So what I was talking about, Street Fighter 2, Ryu, the coolest character in the whole game. You know, if you played a Street Fighter 2 and you beat the game, whether it's Nintendo or like at the actual arcade machine, because that's really where I played a lot of Street Fighter, right? So cool, because you put up your quarter in there, you wait for your turn, and you could basically play forever if you were beating everybody on 25 cents, which is a rarity these days. Again, I digest. But Ryu, the coolest character, if you beat the video game with him, there's this ending scene, and you can look it up right now on YouTube, where they're waiting for him on the podium. It's like got Sagat and Bison, and they're asking, where is Ryu? The Ryu is walking, it cuts to the next thing, into the sunset, and he's on to the next challenge already. That's the coolest thing. He says, the ceremony means nothing. The fight is everything. And that's so poetic, and also has so much wisdom in it. And that, you know, today, in this day and age, it's the ego that you're trying to feed, right? Like all the medals and the trophies, to feed that ego, to say like, yeah, I'm the best, or you know, I've done something, or I want to show off to my friends to show them how cool I am. It's so crazy though, because you know, from a standpoint of working in a martial arts school or running an academy, you see that more people that inquire about martial arts, they're more about like wanting to tell their friends they do martial arts. Now, we're always here to try to change that idea when they come in, right? It's like the idea of becoming a martial artist, that they don't know what that really means, because most people, they've been watching UFC, which, you know, has a lot of positives in the sense that it's got a lot of people interested in martial arts. But it's also got a lot of negatives in that, like it's really like a circus. It's almost like a spectacle, right? More than sport. That WWE thing about the beef and everything, you know, all the drama that surrounds the fight. Very interesting, pulls people in, and people who see that and don't do martial arts kind of think that that's what it's about, right? And so, in the world of social media, it's like, I just want to put the picture of me training. I don't really want to train. I don't really want to be a champion for the sake of being a champion and getting better at martial arts and improving my skill. But I just want people to know. And a lot of times people, of course, very few people will ever make it to that championship and be a champion. Even more because they won't even take the time to come in for that first class and sign up for a membership. Again, I digress, but that's just the world that we live in now. You know, people are more about images and facade. And going back to what I was talking about, like, yeah, I see I could feed the ego, but I'm looking for a new challenge. So this is something no one's ever done before. It's become a world champion in each of these arts. Again, I'm doing it in the 45 division, right? And I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time now, almost over 30 years. I started in 1995. Before that, I started Kung Fu. So in 1993, So I've been doing, 1991. So I've been doing martial arts for more than a better part of my life, more than half of my life, right? So I'm 45 now. Since I was 11 years old, I've been doing martial arts, always looking for new champion and new challenges. And I am the 2016 No-Gi Masters 2 medium heavyweight champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've done a lot. I've won the amateur WKA World Championship in Muay Thai when I was 23 years old. 21 years old. So I've done a lot of different things. And one thing that I really miss is striking. I miss the whole punching and kicking. And so that's what really draws me to Kudo. So let me talk about each of the arts that I'm looking to pursue a world championship in. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as a matter of fact, I have never medaled. I've never got on the podium at the Masters World Championship in a gi, right? So no gi, yes, I've won the Pan Ams, I've won the World Championships, I've won a lot of titles in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but never the Masters Worlds. And so that's one goal that I've always wanted to conquer. And I'm going to do that next month. That's my goal. I'm competing in the Masters Worlds 2025. Let me also say that I plan to, if I am at my best and I get this job done, I can do it in 2 years. That's if everything is right? But most likely this is going to be a 5-year journey, and I'm going to put episodes on this YouTube channel as often as I can. I'm going to commit to 2 times a month, right? Every 2 weeks. So let's see how we go. Now, I don't have a lot of time to edit. I have business to run. I run a martial arts consulting business. Our school's growing. We want to be 4 schools in 10 years. So there's a lot going on. So I'm going to do the best that I can and provide as much value as I can for you guys here following me on my journey to the Triple Crown Challenge. Now, 3 things, right? So Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's what's going to happen. The second one is Judo. I've been doing Judo also equally as long as I've been doing Jiu-Jitsu. As a matter of fact, I didn't see those things as 2 different arts or 2 different sports. Most likely it's become that now because a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people just pull guard, and it makes me upset. But there is a takedown aspect to it, and you don't get rewarded a lot for the takedown, but it is an important thing you need to be able to do. And if you want Jiu-Jitsu to work, you got to be able to do that. So it makes me really angry when I see a lot of guard pulls. So to say I don't pull guard, I do when I have to, but I definitely, it's not my go-to, okay? They make you sad when I see it. So Judo, I've finally got my black belt in Judo this year, even though I've been doing it for like 30 years. And I've been a 3rd degree brown belt for the last 17 years. And so finally, I achieved that. I won a U.S. national tournament. It's called the U.S. Judo Nationals. And I won the U.S. Open recently, last week, which I'll post in the next episode. I needed a gold after that, and it kind of came to me. So the Judo Championship this year, the World Championships for the veterans, is in Paris. Arguably, United States Judo is not at the same level as international Judo, so this is going to be a very hard, tough mountain to climb. And most likely this year I probably won't go because it's going to be in November, and maybe they'll plan to have it somewhere a little bit closer next year. So we'll see. But this year, Jiu-Jitsu. Now, Kudo. You probably hear me talking a lot about Kudo on my Instagram, YouTube, Shorts, TikTok, and it's a sport that I recently got involved in at the beginning of 2025. I learned about it during COVID. So cool, because I was like, man, when the world opens up, I want to be able to do something else. And I've always wanted to get back to striking. Now, I have been a professional MMA fighter, professional in quotes, right? So fought probably about 8 times with amateur and professional. And it was when I was fighting, I wasn't making any money. So I just did it because I loved it. And my last fight was in 2017. It didn't really quite go my way. I hadn't fought in a long time. And I was going through a divorce and a lot of different things during that time. And I felt like it was like a midlife crisis type of thing to get in there. Luckily, I got out without getting my head caved in. But it could have happened. And I don't want that to happen now. Not to say that I'll never fight MMA again unless it's a good opportunity. I'm always open to it. But I want to do striking, and I want to do it in a way that keeps me safe. That's where Kudo comes in, right? Kudo, so cool. Daido Juku Karate, also known as Furious Karate. So cool. It's punches, kicks, elbows, knees, headbutts, even groin kicks, even. Really, really cool. It's got clinching and throws and takedowns and submissions. It's a very interesting sport. So that World Championship happens every 2 years. They just had in Bulgaria last month in July, so it's not going to happen again until 2027. My understanding, it could be in Japan in 2027. So that would be really cool to go out to Japan and win a world championship out there. And so that's going to be my goal. Three things: judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Kudo, becoming a world champion at the over 45 division in 5 years or less. What a goal. There's a movie that I would direct you to too, which is called Street Fighter 2 Assassin's Fist. Man, it must have come out like 15 years ago. That soundtrack, super cool. I think that is one of the coolest movies that was like straight to video almost. I think it was straight to Amazon Prime. You can check it out still. Really awesome. They talk about the Musha Shugyo. This is Japanese for the warrior's pilgrimage. And that's what I imagine that I'm on right now, right? You're going to test your skill, go out and challenge yourself and go on quests without the safety of your clan and your family. Lucky for me, I'm able to take my daughter and my wife with me on some places in some areas of the world that they might enjoy, but I have to travel the world in order to achieve this goal. So it is going to be without the safety and security of a team, because really I'm on my own now. There's going to be lots of teammates that I'll be training with and different places that I'll go. But it's just me kind of on this path myself as this goal that I've set. I don't know if anybody else has ever done this. If they have, please reach out to me. I'd love to know a little bit more about, what you do and what you've done to achieve this goal. But at this point, I think I'm the only person that's kind of said it and put it out there. So I'm on the Musha Shugyo, the road to the Triple Crown Championship, over 45 divisions in less than 5 years. And I'm so blessed that I get to live my life like a martial arts movie. And I get to be, at least I get to pretend to be one of the coolest characters that I ever saw out there in Street Fighter 2, which is Ryu, walking the earth and testing his skill. So let me know in the comments below also what you'd like to see on the channel. I will share a lot of my training, a lot of the places that I go, the people that I meet, the experience that I have in martial arts, because I think, martial arts is one of the awesomest things, I think personally, that it's going to be something that's going to save our species, right? Because we're so quick to commit violence these days. They want to punch, kick somebody. They think, oh yeah, that guy cut me off in traffic. I'm going to go out there and, I'm going to punch him. I'm going to show him what's up. And really, a lot of these people have never been in a fight at all in their lives. That's the same people that say like, oh, some country attacked another country and we should go and bomb them. And this is crazy, because if you ever knew what violence was, I think you'd be less likely to commit it. And even though violence can be a part of martial arts, and certainly the sports that I'm going to be doing, particularly Kudo, there's a lot of violence in it. But once you understand it, I think you'll be a lot less quick to commit violence. And at the same time, respect, which is central and to all these different arts that we practice, it's so important. Because if I don't have respect for my opponent, even though I'm standing across from somebody, I'm going to fight him, but that person's not my enemy, right? That's my opponent for however long we're going to be doing battle. And I appreciate them for stepping in the ring or stepping on the mat, and for us to have this experience, because without both of us being there and having the respect to show up and do everything we need to do to come in and face each other, we would not have this experience, right? So there's no need for bad blood. There's no need for hatred. There's no need for any of that. Really, martial arts is a way that's going to help us work out those differences. So I think that's what's pretty cool about it. And anyway, let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel. I'm going to be doing more longer form things, longer form videos out there. My next video will be most likely on the last tournament I just had last week, which is the US Open, which is one of the biggest judo tournaments of the year in the United States. And I won that in the Veterans 4 division in the black belt. So let me just quickly also talk about like what my next immediate roadmap is to this. Okay, so in August, which is this month, as I'm filming this, is the beginning of August. At the end of this month is going to be the Masters Worlds, IBJJF Masters Worlds in Las Vegas. Sign up for that. Middleweight. There's about 55 people in my division, so that's going to be multiple matches, 6 matches to get on top of that podium. It's going to be tough, and you know me, I always love to do the absolute division. So if I got anything left and I'm not injured, I'm going to jump in there. I'm going to do what I can and fight those big dudes and show them that middleweights, you know, we're the best out there, right? Because that's also my personal opinion, me being a middleweight, but also the fact that because we're in the middle, we got to be able to have skills to fight heavier people and to fight lighter people, and therefore we are the most versatile. That's just my personal belief. Let me know if you think I'm right, and let me know if you think I'm wrong. But wow, so that's going to be my next immediate tournament. Now, immediately after that, I've done something really crazy. I have been known to overload myself and overwhelm myself. That's something that I gotta have to make sure that I keep a good handle on going into this, because I think that's one of the reasons why I lost my last MMA fight back in 2017. I just was doing too much. My mind wasn't on the fight, and I was overloaded with business obligations, with personal obligations, with personal life issues, and probably shouldn't have fought, but you know, I'm not the kind of person to back down all the time. So here's what I've done to myself. Immediately after the World Championships, the IBJJF Masters Worlds, I'm going to be flying to Colorado Springs to meet my Kudo sensei, Sensei James Alexander. And I haven't really spoken to him yet about how it's going to go, but I'm going to train with him. Right now, I have a small group that meets at my school, or we train at different places, you know, training Kudo. But there's a test that I have to take, and the test is show me every counter to a jab cross you know, show me every throw that you know, show me every submission that you know. Now, this is I should have mentioned before, Kudo is like Japanese MMA and a gi, which is really cool. So I've really focused my training to be gi-centric, even though for the last 5-6 years I've been doing mostly no gi, right? That's to help train my MMA fighters, do all these different things. And so I've switched my training to about 85 to 90% in a gi. That's training judo, that's training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in a gi, that's training Kudo in a gi. So I'm going to go take this exam, maybe take this exam, or just go out and train with them. Here's the other thing, though. Colorado Springs has very high elevation. I haven't checked how high it is. I'm going to just throw it out there. Maybe it's 5,000 feet elevation. Now, I've been told by my sensei to purchase a oxygen tank when I arrive and begin to, you know, use the oxygen, because the air is very thin up there. That's also what I'm told. Very thin air. So it's going to be interesting to take and do training. And if I were to take an exam, take the test in there, also have to fight 3 fights while I'm there, covering all the different unique aspects of Kudo, which is going to be the clinching aspect with the throws, the punching and takedown aspect of Shudo box, and the ground and pound, the submissions. And it's in a mask. This mask, while really cool and protect yourself from being cut, and that's kind of the appeal of Kudo, is also I can headbutt an elbow and knee to the face without getting cut up and getting concussed too much. The helmet is there, but the helmet is also suffocating to a certain degree. So the helmet's suffocating, we're up at high elevation, and we're wearing a gi. So hopefully I have not bit off more than I can chew, but we'll see what happens on the Musha Shugyo, the road to the Triple Crown Challenge. Again, let me know in the comments below. Anybody else done something like this? Also, what would you like to see on this road to the championship? What is valuable to you that I can share and to help spread martial arts to the world, and to share my journey with you? Because, you know, it might be lonely sometimes. So post some stuff up and let me know what you think.